Everybody, welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, guys. So, topic of discussion today is going to be a kind of unique one. It's about like starting. It's never too late to start fresh. In a lot of things in life, we have, changes. Change is part of life. And one of the things is some people are apprehensive to try something new or trying to get into something that's already been established, especially when it comes to like games and MMOs. MMOs has an existing community. Unlike any other console game or anything, it has this existing community to it, and sometimes it intimidates people to try to start something new. And I get that, but it's never too late, man. That's the nice thing about it. As long as it's there and it's available to you, you can do it. And that's with anything in life. You can always get into something a little new and try something different. And that's the best thing about life, is the experiences you get. And I always tell people, you can't take a lot of things with you in this world. Yo, Cal, what's up? Hope you're doing good. You can't take a lot of things with you. You can't take money. You can't take personal items. And sometimes the only thing we have to reflect on in our lives are the memories or our experiences or what people remember what we contributed in our lives, right? And that's kind of profound when you think about it. That's kind of very profound to think that, oh my God, I can go ahead and, it means something when I do something. I got a bonus cash. Oh my gosh, that's badass. Why is this still up? I have no idea. Let me see my currency. Oh, nice. Excellent. But yeah, I always tell people, man, definitely, if you're going to do something, it's not too late. Like when I first came to this game, somebody's like, man, the game's been out for a while. It's whatever. See, Sherman stream yesterday. He might quit ESO. Says he's fed up with the direction the game is going. Oh, did not see that stream. I missed that stream. Holy sheep. I keep telling people, man. I feel like I think I'm coming back to ESO after they do this. If they successfully pull this off, I'll probably be coming back to Elder Scrolls. But I can't say I blame anybody particularly at this moment. The servers run like shit. Let's be honest about Elder Scrolls. They make hundreds of millions annually. They're running on old servers and it runs like shit in PvP. PvE, it's fine. PvE is fine. It's fine. It's fine. PvP, oh boy. Oh boy. That's not a very a thing that people want to talk about now a lot. Is how bad the servers are. In Cyrodiil, it runs like shit. Battlegrounds can get away with it, but it's still under. You get it's latency, it's networking issues. And it's a problem, man. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And yet, like yesterday, I was saying, maybe too late. I mean, it's not going to die. It's not going to kill the game. The game's going to be around. There's going to be thousands of players playing it, if not millions. The thing about it is, though, what ended up happening, they got fucking greedy. They didn't want to reinvest in their product. They're like, we're investing. We have employees, so that's an investment. No, motherfucker. If you're making over the profit margin, depending on your profit margins, if you're making X amount of percentage over your profit margin, you reinvest, especially in MMOs. That's what kills MMOs, when companies can't justify the cost. And for Elder Scrolls not to justify that for the last 2 years is fucking ridiculous. First 2 years, I would say, yeah, run it with what you got, see how far we can push this. Honestly. But now, in the last year, they should have had upgrades. They should have. They should have done it. Timing is crucial. Timing is crucial in this industry. You don't get timing down, you're fucked. you will lose millions of dollars. And I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you. Somebody's dropping the ball. Somebody is dropping the fucking ball. And the board members can bitch all they want, but at the end of the day, if somebody asked them, which I imagine they did, they're going to be like, oh, well, it was this person's fault. It was that person's fault. They should have told us. They should have been, like, on it. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, why in the fuck do people want to keep fucking with you guys? I know I don't.
The Tide Stones hold a great deal of Atlantic
I don't.
magic.
I absolutely do not. I'll help you. But that's just a good point, man. You can get in other MMOs. A lot of people are doing it these days, man. God, I love the lightning. I forgot how bad this was when I first created it. I just kept doing my mains and stuff, and that's why I'm on this tune, because I'm like, you know, I never get on certain tunes anymore because I'm always worried about progression, but sometimes it's just nice to come back, start a new tune, and remember why you initially was doing it. So fucking awesome. And, you know, I wish there were more superhero games. It broke my heart when City of Heroes just went out the door. Like, it got repetitive, like, the maps and stuff, but I enjoyed City of Heroes and City of Villains immensely. PvP sucked. It seems like it's hard for companies to get good PvP, man. World of Warcraft still has good PvP. Elder Scrolls has fun PvP. It's got issues. Every game does. This game has fun PvP, but it's not competitive. It's just after you get your feat, you're like, why am I doing this? Why? Why am I trying to PvP in this game? You know? You'd want it to be there, but
you need to stop them before they turn the whole city.
I'm enjoying coming back and having some downtime. I've tried to play some other games. Like I said, I can't go back to turn-based. But if I wanted to, I don't feel like it's a too late thing. I don't feel like it's too late to get into any product or any game. And if you continue with the product and continue with the game, you'll continue to do well. Now, there's certain games where, like EverQuest 2, it's hard to get into because there's no low levels doing those old dungeons. It's harder to level because of it. Like, that's the one thing about linear progression, like, if it doesn't scale. In this game, high levels still do low level stuff just to get their feats or their collections. So that's why this game works. It's like, why are players still playing old content? Because they still need to try to get feats or collections. They're like still in there because RNG can suck. Oh, forgot to get that. I'll get it. Boy, they respawn so fast.
You need to stop them before they turn the whole city. I was afraid I'd be their slave forever.
And the dark world chained to Atlantis was severed. Buried in the city beneath the waves.
Atlantis is coming out. And I really like the scaling system, how they've implemented it in this game. I still wish we'd had more like open world events and notifications for that. That would be kind of cool. Kind of pulling everybody together. City of Heroes did that really well.
You need to stop them.
The Atlanteans are an ancient magical civilization, and they've always sneered at us dry landers. They've never invaded before.
Oh, they're about to. It's a war. All right.
The Atlanteans are
Yo, Jack, what's up, brother?
further into suicide
Trying to work on my electric hero.
reinforcements and restore their kidnapped victims.
Got my healing loadout done yesterday and got some new materials and was like, okay, cool deal. I think I got like 6 tunes now that have materials. So, it's not bad. I need the quest giver. I hate trying to find quest givers. They're always usually located within the map area. Always get them. Always. No extra quest giver? Is this shit real? Wow. That's a first. Okay. Which materials? I got the sparkling material. I have the wicked material. I have the terrestrial material, which is the rock. I have the lava, the magma. I have the surging, and I also have. There was one more I have too. I sold one of the materials I got, and then I ended up, it was a high one. I had an extra sparkling. I sold it, and I was able to get 2 out of that one. So I was like, hell yeah. This is badass.
We'll all be slaves soon.
Like somebody asked me yesterday, why are you playing that game? And I'm like, honestly, it's the combat. The combat's fucking fun, man. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, their balancing is really done well, but what's really nice about it, and I feel like it's the strong point of the game, is how good every DPS or support role works, and then on top of it, how unique it plays. So it's like people are like, "Oh well," and I'm like, the game actually performs really well across the board. I'm like, but the thing, what they really did nice is how each class plays. I'm like, that's what's nice. Trying to keep a balance and playing the game to whatever. Somebody could say whatever, and I'm like, listen. I go on, I test every like light attack, heavy attack, all the damage stuff. And they're performing very much like evenly, like even with combos and clip rotations. The problem of it is I feel like the one bad aspect, some people are better clipping with other classes than others. You know, it's just that simple. Like hard light, I clip really good with hard light. I can combo and clip really well with hard light. But my sorcerer, when I'm healing, I don't clip much. Like my combos aren't really. It's all. I mean, I have maybe like one combo. Everything else is pretty direct. So it's like I don't clip so well on DPS with my sorcerer. But you know, so now my quantum I can clip very well. Except you know, comboing is a little different on like quantum. Clipping's really good, but comboing's kind of a little, for me, it's a little harder. My last volunteer work shift for my college is on next week. Finally, the college t-shirt is mine for free. Nice. Excellent. Congratulations. Put in hard work and you get, you know, that's nice. Where is that? I hear it, but right there. They must have changed this. These missions were different. I don't remember the water pools there. I remember like doing the missions around here, but not the water pools. Ah, fuck that. What? Is it in here? It cannot be in this building. No way. No, it's right here.
I can't get in touch with Aquaman at all. He's the king of Atlantis. He must be able to stop this. Sure, he and Queen Mira lead a race of proud Atlanteans, but invading Metropolis seems a bit drastic.
This unprovoked attack must be stopped. Aquaman
Aha.
would answer my
Aha ha 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 ha.
I fear the worst. He would never condone this invasion.
No, because it's his brother.
I thought Aquaman was a hero.
Can't believe it though. Sherman might be leaving Elder Scrolls. Ugh. Losing another one. We're losing a bunch of them.
Slavemonger fish people.
Man, it pissed me off about the stream team being all PC players. That's what made me like say, fuck you, Zoss. When I saw how that shit was going down, I was like, fuck you guys. Biased as a motherfucker. Oh, we can't figure it out. Bullshit. Biased motherfuckers.
Atlantis' army can always use a Drylander slave. The Drylander.
What did they make you do? I thought Aquaman was a hero.
Atlantis' army can always use a Drylander slave.
Oh shit, it's the boss. I should have been paying attention. Fuck. Tell you what, those world bosses, they will fucking kick your ass. Should have known just because of the sheer size of him. Like, oh, is that a world boss? Yeah. Arkillo got me yesterday, bastard.
Sea Fury Arbs are, of course, the core munitions of the Atlantean army.
monger fish people.
Trying to avoid the boss. Where is he?
Seize the Drylander.
Wretched slave monger fish people.
Be slaves soon.
We'll all be slaves. I am. I'm working for the man.
I thought Aquaman was a hero.
You will all be slaves before your betters, pathetic Drylander.
Thought I heard something up here. Aha! Except Zynode. And he occasionally plays PC though. Yeah. Well, and that's the funny thing. Like when I saw all that, and they were making excuses why it was mainly PC players. Like, oh well, we can't do the giveaways on there. I'm like, man, nah, motherfuckers. So now the whole PC community doesn't get perks. I mean, the console community doesn't get perks. Just the PC players who's watching. Like, what the fuck is that, man?
Martian Manhunter decided
We're trying to get it established. You can get fucking cards.
Queen Mira
You can,
is
you know, crown shit and stuff. I mean,
slave, huh?
I get it to a point, but holy fuck. It's a good idea, but it poorly executed. Poorly fucking executed. I mean, you don't like, if you have a community, if you have 3 platforms, you don't like pick one community and be like, hey, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and give the PC gamers this perk, you know, but don't worry, console players, we're aware of you, but there's nothing we can do at the moment. It's like, you know what? Fuck you guys, man. Fuck you.
This army can always use a Drylander slave.
I play on all 3 platforms, and I'm new. To what? To this game? Ultra? Which game are you new to? What are you new to? I'll try to help you out as best as I can. That's what I say. I keep trying to tell people, man, you don't fuck with certain things, man. Especially console players. Console players makes up more than half, like 60-70% of your player base. And you're gonna fuck your console players out? Even your content creators? Yeah, good luck with that. You let me know how that works for you, all right? You let me know how that works. Good luck. You don't fuck around, man. I keep trying to tell people, don't fuck with it. Don't fuck around. You're going to antagonize people, man. It pissed me off. I had no problem fucking, and I mean, majority of them I didn't even fucking ever heard of. And then the ones that fucking they did promote, it's like, oh, it's like we're gonna help them their channel grow. Like some of them don't need. It's like, what is this program? Is this program trying to help the players who are covering your content to grow? Because if that was the case, then why in the fuck are you covering the big dogs? Or is it like, to me it was almost like a dick sucking contest. Not saying anything against any of the people who were doing it, but some was like, yeah, if you suck enough dick, you're going to be on our stream team. But then you had people like Outcast who basically, in Fang Rush, who will just say it how it is. And it's like, you know, hey man, this game is sucking right now. So I don't believe dick sucking was immense, but it was like they had no choice to put them on the stream team. It was like, hey, guess what? we really can't afford not to put these guys on the stream team because these are our big content creators. And we've got to pamper them. It's the way life is, man. Like when I would go, to like sport. Like I said, I got basketball because of the politics. Watch your tone. Just kidding. Like when I literally played basketball, I saw all the political aspects. Like I would see some talented players, more talented that was on our team, not get on basketball because of like it is who you know and what. What server is this? This US PC. It's US. I'm on PC, so I play with I play with PC and PlayStation players. PC and PlayStation players is who I play with. North American server. So really like the fact that, you know, but at the end of the day, I tell people, like, I'm not political. I believe everybody deserves a fair chance in life. And if you're going to do something, you stick with that rule of thumb. And I'll tell you what, like I said, I mean, people can do what they want. All I can say, they better hope there's not an afterlife, and they better hope there's not a hell. People, if there is, I hope there is such a thing as a forgiving God. I really fucking do. Because I'll be honest with you, if I had to rewind some bullshit and I was rewinding it, like imagine you die, right? Let's picture this. Imagine you die. Now imagine it. And imagine, just for a second, that your life's recorded like a movie, right? It's being recorded like a movie. And then all of a sudden, you're facing judgment. Now this is how I envision everything. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're sitting there and it's like, would you agree that you did this, you did that? And it's like a jury, but instead you have a really fair judge. You have a fair person who's going to give you the opportunity to make amends. But the evidence is stacked. It's there. There's no circumstantial evidence. It's proof. Everything. That's how I feel like my conscience is. You know, when I got older. I was like, No. If you're not doing the right thing, I know eventually I'm going to croak. We all are. We're all going to die. I don't know what I believe, per se. Like, I believe it's something, but I'm not in the same essence. And I keep trying to tell people, whatever awaits me after this life, and I do believe something's awaiting me, whatever, I don't want to take the opportunity nor the chance to screw people over or to be biased. I think everybody deserves fairness in life. I just believe it. I believe that. I have no choice but to believe it.
The Tides ritual will ensure our success.
The Tidestone node is strong. It pours our power over the land.
Oh, I hear a... Aha.
Beware always the seal men of the bitter lands beneath the South
With our
Pole.
tide ritual, the tides will soon overflow the land. Glory to Arthur!
The Atlanteans are blocking my mental suggestions. So no more disguises. We'll just have to fight until we reach Aquaman.
Sork tank OP, so literally 20k non-crit heals. Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, I feel like there are pros and cons in Elder Scrolls. Right now, PvE is good. PvP that needed fixed. They waited too long. Too little. Too late. They're coming out with gimmick stuff now, especially with Wolf Hunter. Like, what was you smoking, man? All you had to do is drop the content. don't twist the gimmick to it. Don't put a gimmick to it. Just don't. Don't put a gimmick to it, man. Players don't like gimmicks. I hate gimmicks. I'll hit a cancel button quicker than shit if you gimmick me. If you gimmick me, that's probably the hardest thing that I'm having to decide on right now. I like the changes they're trying to implement for PvP. So I like the changes. But they came out with a gimmick. And a piss poor idea at that. They came out with a gimmick. You gamble. You're gambling now. You don't gamble. No. Not when you're in business. You don't gamble. You stick to the status fucking quo, motherfuckers. You don't fucking when players complain about balance already, you make something imbalanced intentionally, man. You got some fucking audacity, motherfuckers. You don't pull some World of Warcraft bullshit. That's why I left WoW. And they'll be like, well, WoW's successful. Have you guys noticed the last couple of years WoW hasn't been pushing out numbers? The community's starting to get really pissed off. It's just been time consuming, man. But then you got games like EverQuest that players, the old school players, still are playing. They're still pushing, I think, out like, you know, expansions for that shit. And the graphics are so dated. You can't get rid of a good, when something is that good, when something's that good, players will stick with it. Their loyal fan base, they'll stick with it when it's that good. But I'll tell you what, you don't gimmick shit. That's one thing they should have known, they should have learned, and especially with Matt as the executive director, Matt should have known. Matt's been in the industry for years. He should have been the first one to say, fuck no, we are not gimmicking a fucking DLC. We will do it. We will do a theme DLC, but we're not going to throw the twist of a gimmick and make werewolves completely OP as fuck. I mean, come on, man. Why? Why would you? Why? Why? I keep asking myself. I'm like, wow. And then today, me and my wife were having a conversation, and literally I was saying, maybe I should do it. She was like, start the business, start the company, and I was like, maybe. I'm like, 4 to 5 years, about 4 years. I could probably do it in about 4 years. But 4 to 5 years of my time, I'd be on the other side of the desk. I'm like, I had the opportunity before. Maybe I should do it. Create a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. Be a lot of pros to it. I already own the product. So I even own the company name. So I don't know. I just hate dealing with investors. It's not my idea of fun. We were talking about it. I was like, after the whole debacle of Zoss's stupidity, I literally I can't see companies. Companies are just doing stupid stuff. It's the office people. It's not the devs. It's not the game itself. It's just the stupidity behind it. You make X amount of money. You have X amount of player base. You need more capacity towards your servers. Is the cost justified? Is the investment justified? For ZeniMax, absolutely it was at the time. Don't leave fear rule the day, man. I know, Warren. I don't know, man. I've been, you know, when I got the opportunity when I was younger, when I had to deal with the initial company wanted me to go to Texas, I was kind of like, I didn't like the whole aspect of being like, I knew what I wanted. I knew, but it's the way It's the way businesses ran, and you have to compromise. There's always a compromise, man, and you know this, and you have to. It's just the way it is, right? And it comes with respect, and it comes with some validation. But honestly, after seeing like some of the unexcusable aspects that companies do, it's like you're shooting your product. You're killing your product from a business perspective. Who is in the office making, at least trying to talk sense into them? Being like, listen, we just made 15% more annually, and it's going to cost us about 5% to upgrade or something. You know, you have to do the math and get everything fine-tuned. But, you know, honestly, is there anybody trying to make sense to these people? I'm wondering this. You know, like, you do it from a mathematical perspective. You do it, you know, and like, hey, right now it's not about gain, it's about retention. And that's how you have to put it to them. You literally have to say, listen, we're not trying to gain new customers because we're hitting all-time highs. We're trying to retain the customers, the paying customers. Well, these people aren't paying, but that's not the point. It's drawing in the new customers. They're content creators. Most of your content being streamed is PvP. You have to understand that. When performance is looking like shit on a stream, what do you think players watching this are going to think? Well, fuck, I'm not playing this game. They're freezing up. They're disconnecting left and right. Shit. I mean, come on. It all comes back to that, man. It always does. And I keep thinking to myself, fucking, I should just do it. I really should just completely strip the fuck out of some of these companies. Except my product to be different. We know where I would go. I'd go Sandbox. And it would be focused PvP. It'd have PvE in it, but everything's focused PvP. And I would make it count. I would make it count.
What has happened? Where is Mera? Circe, what have you done with her, you witch? Your queen.
But you got to get investors, man. Here's the deal. You have to get people with money who understand how to maintain money. Not who's trying to get the most out of it and then run and bail.
No, in her name I will smite you.
Anymore, that's what I feel like's going on. It's like, okay, we made all of our investment back plus like 300%. So now we don't give a shit what happens to this product. Certain things, man, and like I tell people, you just have to be aware of how to spend money, man. Jeez. But server upgrade really pissed me off. The gimmick pissed me off. Zoss was looking so good with upgrades, too. It made me sad to see it. I was like, you guys were on such a good thing. All you had to do was input the new content. You didn't have to do a lot. You know, tweak a few things here and there, you know, and just insert new content. Blam, done, over with, right? But no. We've got to attract players. We have to attract new players. How are we doing that? We're gonna throw a gimmick. We're gonna give them something that is so stupid they'll want to play it. I'm like, no. I'm telling you, man. But no, I should do it. I was thinking about it. Me and my brother were actually talking about it too. My brother's a business type of person as well. So. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Some days I think about it. I'll be honest. Some days I do. And I'd be all about like trying to get people jobs, man. That's what I wanted to do it initially for. Create local jobs for the next generation of kids and stuff. That was my whole aspect behind all of it. I was like, I would love it, you know. But you need somebody like me to be kind of that person to you know, kind of give direction until you can insert somebody that can, you know, pick up the structure. It has to be structured a certain way. And it just does, because that's how business works. You have to have structure. You have to. You have to have that one person that you're always asking, what the fuck does he do? You ever ask that? Like, you ever ask it? What happened? Ed just got here. Hey, not much. I'm just playing. I'm just leveling up, and I don't know. Like, I was talking, like, I would love to go. Sherman might be leaving. So Cal told me that Sherman might be leaving Elder Scrolls. And I was like, what? That's crazy. And it came back down to the conversation. Like, it's never too late to start anything new in life. That's kind of my thing. But what was crazy for me is ZeniMax stubbornness is costing them. And it was like, yeah, it's kind of a problem. It's kind of a problem. It really is. And I got to watch Fang Rush's video last night, and he addressed the same shit, which was nuts. He's like, how he say it? There is always a way around networking issues. In this day and age, any network issue is resolvable. The only question of it is, are you willing to pay for it? Are you willing to invest and pay to get it done? If not, hey, that's fine. That's fine. And that's how he said it. And I'm like, yeah, it is. They can't keep saying it's this or that. We all know what it is, you know, at this point in time. And it's like, get your fucking cheap ass, either be prepared to take a loss or make the investment. I mean, how hard is that? You know, you have thousands of players playing on weekends. On prime time and weekends alone, Saturday and Friday, like weekend warriors. We call them weekend warriors, right? We call them weekend warriors. That alone is justification. Mid-year mayhem this year was so shitty. It was so fucking shitty. It looked like complete fucking shit. It really did. It looked like crap. And it's the same thing, like I had flashbacks of like ESO when they pulled me in for the NGE. Like there was like 30 of us or something. And they were like, okay, we're going to have you guys test this. And, you know, we want your feedback. And because this is like hush hush NDA type shit, we're going to completely change the face of the fucking game. Right? SOE did. We're like, okay, all right. So we went in, and of course we're already accustomed to it, but we're keeping open minds. Majority of us are, even though some things were kind of like, what the fuck? But it went completely from sandbox to class-based system. And I was like, whoa, boy, oh boy. I wish City of Heroes was still open. I missed that game. I know. I have a little thing with NCSoft. I have a long-term relationship with NCSoft. And don't get me wrong, I love NCSoft. I'm not hating on NCSoft. I'm not getting involved in all this whatever. Everybody over there, I love you guys. You know I do. You guys know I do. I have nothing but the biggest amount of love for NCSoft. Everybody can say hateful shit. I have my reasons. But, I will say this. They kind of did like some really dirty shit. Like, I knew about it before let's put it this way. I knew about it before it happened. Like, type shit. I was like, oh. I was like, when I heard like some of the shit that was going to happen, I was like, oof, whoa, oh. It all happened with the one of the first games. Right, yeah. I love NC Soft. I'm just gonna say, I got respect for NC in a lot of ways. I really do. I do. Hey guys, if you guys ever watch this, I'm just saying. But when shit went weird with Tabula Rasa, they started. It all started with the auto game, the mechanical vehicle game. They 86'd it like completely off their list, and I'm like, uh-oh. And it reminded me about the same time that SOE was cutting titles left and right, like Matrix and shit. Well, they were cutting titles. Now, you kind of anticipate that because what server costs, right? It costs to maintain server. Even if you don't put out updates, it costs to maintain servers. So at some point you got to cut the loss, right? Because you're not gaining profit anymore. It's pointless investing in anything that's not going to reap a profit. I agree with that. That's business 101. You don't spend money that if it's not making anything. That's just that simple. You don't make money and you don't spend money. Right? If it's not making money, you don't spend it and you don't fucking pay out for it. No. You don't do it. So they cut titles. Now, some of the titles started getting questionable. It was like because they just released. And when they cut, what was it? Like over half their titles, it was like, oh, it's time to bounce, man. It's time to bounce it. It's like bounce. No, stay the fuck away from NC Soft titles at this moment. Because you don't know where they're going to go. There were certain things I understood, but other ones I was like, there was no marketing for this product. It just released. It's still being in, like basically a live whatever. And Richard Garrett was probably the biggest controversial person of that whole whatever. And like he said, they had their rights. And surely they did. Surely, but and I don't feel like he was bitter about it. But given the fact of how things went, is what was surprising. So I feel like NC Soft had to do what they had to do. They did what they had to do, but the way they did it wasn't so kosher. I'll put it that way. So I believe what NC Soft did, they had to do it, but it didn't, the way they executed it and the way they didn't back up certain products or give them an opportunity to succeed is why some products failed. Now, at this time, the market's flooded, though, right? And every one of the games have this like cookie cut feel to it of, the status quo of success. Because World of Warcraft was doing it, but they got it from EverQuest and then this game and that game. So we had a flooded market of similar products. Turn-based MMOs that were, what the MMO community was accustomed to. Now you had games that coming out now which had action-based aspects to it. Now it's not the new concept because when we take a look at the original PlanetSide, that had already been, one of those things that it was pushing for. Like, okay, we're gonna do something a little different, right? We're gonna, make a shooter MMO, and it was badass. PlanetSide 2 is still live, and it's fun as hell. Problem of it is, it just doesn't get the pop. But when you play PlanetSide 2 is just amazing as fuck. It is amazing as hell. I suck at it, but I love being in there and like seeing all this warfare going on. It's amazing. So, but the problem of it is, once again, was the development was over his head in its capability at the time. So it was like, and I feel like that's where Ashes of Creation's gonna go. People's talking about Ashes of Creation. I'm like, listen, it's gonna be a rig hog. I've been doing this for a long time. It looks beautiful. That's the problem. It looks too fucking good. And somebody, even my friend said it, I am not touching Ashes of Creation because the only thing I'm going to do is go to their website when they finally get it up and take a look at the recommended specs. And he's like, and I guarantee you, it'll be all the current high-end profiled stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, and who's going to afford it? He's like, and that's going to suck because they made a real-time engine on how the game's going to be played. And these rigs nowadays are costing like that. It's like $3,000. I'm like, yeah. He's like, they were not thinking in today's market. They were thinking old school, like PC rig gaming, where everybody was, all the hardcore were PC gamers. Were spending like a couple $100s to build their rigs. He's like, but now it's thousands. Cross-fired systems, all, yeah. I was like, yeah. It looks beautiful, but we're anticipating it. We're betting almost everything on it. We're betting almost everything on it. It's going to be a system hog. I'm like, ESO on PC is a system hog, even if you got a really damn good rig. Now you're going to bring out Ashes of Creation? You know, good luck. Good luck with that. I'm telling ya.
This is Oracle. The international crime organization Intergang has created
It's going to be nuts.
their so-called crime Bible. We need to shut
The
down their
crime
operations
Bible.
before their cult spreads across Gotham. The Question in Gotham's Diamond District Police Station has more intel.
I'll probably be finishing up this tune today and stuff. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the way I look at it, and I keep trying to tell people, when we take a look at MMO, City of Heroes, City of Villains was one of my favorite titles. And it had, and that was another thing, NCSoft ran that game. Cryptic did awesome in development. And that's kind of why I still have so much admiration for Cryptic. Unfortunately, though, Neverwinter, as well as Neverwinter plays, and it does, the marketing strategy behind Neverwinter sucks. But City of Heroes, City of Villains, one of the most epic games, sponsored, and its parent company was NCSoft. And it went to shit. That game had still so many subscribers. Like, I would still walk in, and in the main cities, man, there was just a ton of people. And it was so repetitive. But I'll tell you what, everybody was still doing it. Everybody was still at it. Everybody. And it was like, they only needed to do maybe, Cryptic needed to do maybe one or two things for an end game. To kind of put a more viable end game. But other than that, the game was awesome. It was one of the best only hero games you actually saw besides this one when it came out for development or release. And I'll be honest, in this market, it is a prized product. You know, like hero games that are done right, because there's no competition. If you could see any game or TV show or movie turned into an MMO, which one would you like? Okay, so let me give you a background story, Don Strider. I was involved with Cheyenne when a couple of devs that I knew went to this company, and some of them were startups, and I was an alpha tester for Stargate Worlds. That's the one I wanted to see happen. Because, like, they pulled me in. Like, I knew one of the developers, and he's like, Mystic, I'm working here. We want you as one of our main testers. I was like, shut up. He's like, yeah, totally. I was like, yeah, I'm in, dude. Fucking throw me the link for the download, because it's private, right? All the stuff, so it links me direct to the server, and I get to, download the product. And I was a closed tester for the game, and it was amazing. Like, I could never talk about it, but it was a fucking amazing. Like, some of the innovation that they were wanting to do with it, because I was a big Stargate fan. And unfortunately, it was during the recession. So it's getting towards Alpha 2, right? Now this is before beta. They were doing a lot of things. And and the way the combat system worked, because it was like an action shooter with ability, so there wasn't the Trinity wasn't really there, how the normal Trinity was, and how they were going to do end game and like putting teams together, like SG teams, like you could like hub SG teams. And it was really cool. And I was like, but unfortunately, because of the recession, the original investors backed out. So the game never came to fruition, ever. And I think they did have like, there was like this open phase, I wanted to say, maybe like it was a selective phase. I wasn't quite sure. But we used to be able to like hack like Gaul ships and shit. And all this stuff, and the graphics at the time were really phenomenal. Now, in today's market, it'd be a little dated, but back then, it was phenomenal. It was amazing. It was a pleasure. It was just, like I said, I got to do so much stuff that some games never came out. Some just hit and miss, you know, price, targeting. For Daybreak to drop EverQuest Next was a big mistake. Was the biggest mistake they could have done that they did. I was ready to hit the buy-in button. I was ready. Ready. Like, but I wasn't doing the founder bullshit. I was like, no. You get it to beta. All it has to do is hit beta. Once it hits beta, I'm clicking the buy button, the pre-order button. That's all what I was waiting for. That's the only thing I was waiting for, was beta, just so I could click buy. Because during beta, it's a set deal. Like, you got 4 to 6 months during like your beta phase. That's getting towards launch phase, maybe 7 months. It's usually you're within your half. That means it's ready. It's almost ready for launch, even in closed beta. So it's like, I'm waiting for beta. And I would have clicked it. And you know why? Because it would have been on consoles. I'm like, this is huge. This is massive. And the way they did the graphics was perfect. The initial idea behind it was great. I thought the game would have done well. I thought the game was going to do like awesome. But once again, this was during the exchange when SOE got bought out by Daybreak Games, and then they just cut it. I was like, oh, no. What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, even if it costs a little bit more, you push that product. There's not a lot of MMOs on that scale on console. PC, PC, it's like, okay, yeah, you have competition. You have pretty stiff competition on PC. Console, you really don't. You really don't. It's like, holy fuck. Like, SOE, ZeniMax would have probably been shitting themselves if it came out. I would have been. I mean, you know how many people, old school MMOers, would have went over there just to hear, because of the title, EverQuest on a console. Yes. Yeah, sure. Okay. You click. And it's like, why? What were you thinking? It's a simpler version of EverQuest on controller, and players get to do dungeons and raids and shit. It's like, what are you doing? Whoa, why? They dropped the ball. I would have give a fuck how else I would have came out with that money. I would have came out with t-shirts for that product. EverQuest Next t-shirts. Order your EverQuest Next t-shirts. Get merchandise out there to promote it. I bet you they didn't even think about that. Dumb fucks. Because I would have bought an EverQuest Next t-shirt, but I'm not doing a founder pack. Fuck no. Founder pack's like, we need more money. Desperately. That's scary. You say, hey, we're selling, real life, we're selling merchandise, hats and t-shirts that says EverQuest Next launch and shit. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll buy that. Cool, click. There's some extra money. Get it done. Holy fuck. I swear to God. You would have played it? Yeah. Holy shit, yeah. It's EverQuest! On a console! What were they thinking? I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta wrap this up, but I'll be honest with you. I've gotten to do so many things. John, like this, I'm playing a Daybreak game. Yo, Spartacus, what's up? Not much. About to wrap it up. I'm playing a Daybreak Day game. And me and Mr. Smeedley have a very... Now, keep in mind, Smeedley's pretty young. He's only a few years older than me. He was pretty young as a CEO for SOE, right? Really young. And I really hate Smeedley. I really do. I do. Well, EverQuest Next was canceled because the game wasn't good. Pfft. That game would have rocked. I would fucking guarantee it. Maybe not in comparison, but they had dungeons. They had the dungeons. They had the raids that were going to be developed. The open world stuff, yeah, I could see where that was struggling. But the combat system looked pretty damn good. It looked pretty good. So I was like, get it out. You can fix shit. It's the title. It's the title. The EverQuest on PS2 was good for the time. Yeah, but the performance sucked. Boy, the lag sucked. I tried that game. Man, that lag was so bad. I'm telling you, man. They should have stuck their fucking guns on that one. I would have been like, fuck you, motherfuckers. Well, this bitch is seeing the light of day. There are certain times you back out, and I agree with that. I mean, I do. There are certain times you say, hey, man, we can't do this. You know, and you do. And I do blame the devs. I'm still waiting for a Pokemon MMO. Are you? It'd be interesting. I'm not a big Pokemon fan, but I'd imagine it'd blow up the hell and back. People would be like, go get the Pokemons. It'd be interesting to see how they would do it. That would be interesting for me. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? It'd be interesting. It would be. There's a couple of ideas that I've always had, and I'll never talk about my ideas. I will say this: if I ever do start a company, if I do, which probably I won't, I don't know. If I do, it will be Sandbox. I own the company name. I own the product. I own the rights to it. I have the rights to all of that. I did that years ago. And I will tell you, it would be a Sandbox. I would bring Sandbox back to the MMO community. But I wouldn't be dumb enough to do it the way that everybody else was trying to do it. See, that's the difference between those other people and me. See, the thing about what I was going to do, everything was structured, very structured. I was using the Unreal Engine. I'm not building an engine. That's time consuming and costly. I want some reliability to speed up production. Unreal gets that done, right? Pretty good. How you phase in your development team. Very important. Very important. You have to know what developers you need in phase 1, what developers need to be implemented in phase 2. You're still using the development team from phase 1 all the way through. But at certain times, you don't need a certain type of developer until a later phase. So you don't hire a developer until you need that developer. So you have phase introductions. Internship program, how you utilize that. Daybreak can't afford another bomb like EverQuest 2. Rumor has it there is a new EQ in the making. Well, if they do, they're going to go console. They will. They will. They'll go console all the way. All the way. And why wouldn't they? Now, I have a nice little secret in what my game was going to do different. There's a bunch of secrets, actually, about what my game was going to do different. And I'll leave it at that. See, that's where, like, it pays to have somebody like me. Because this is where I get to like, and I do get to be egotistical. I'm like, every time I did a Christmas wish list, how many of what I said got implemented in the game of Elder Scrolls? How many? At least 50%. At least half of it. At least half. Was I psychic? No, I knew what the game needed. I talked to the community. I listened. We put together a very, very like limiting request list, but game-changing list for pros. Anytime I said what was going to happen, it happened. What the repercussions were, it was that way. It pays to have a player like me on a company's side. It pays to do it. It pays them, literally, figuratively. It pays them to do that. You don't take a player like me and put him slide him under the rug. You can't afford to. You can't. Because if I was to come on tomorrow and say this game is going to bomb, that's relative. Because I never usually say that. If I say this game's going to bomb, it's like we're in some serious shit. It's like, yeah, you are. You're fucked. You're completely fucked. I've been doing it too long. Just been doing it way too long. I know how the markets work. I know how the gaming industry works. I know the technical aspects behind it. It's like you can't afford not to take a player like me serious. You can't. You better be taking my fucking advice serious, ZeniMax. You better be taking my advice serious. Because if you don't, well, good luck. Don't say I didn't tell you so, but don't worry. I'll say it. I told you so. But hey, whatever. Whatever, man. And Matt knows me. I mean, I don't know him. I never met him, but he knows who I am. I've done stuff for Mythic before in the past. So I was one of the testers for Warcraft. So whatever. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see. ZeniMax is going to be fine. They're not going to go like Elder Scrolls isn't going offline tomorrow. It's not going to go offline for 10, 15 years. It'll be there. Populace, it's going to struggle. They can fix it all they want, but players are getting fed up with the performance now. It's becoming inexcusable. You got new products, new servers coming out every, so many months. Not daily, but so many months. And it's like, I give it up to ZeniMax. They covered all 3 platforms. That was brilliant. It was in their best interest to do so. Nowadays, if a developer better build the MMO for PC and consoles, absolutely. Absolutely, Spartacus. Absolutely. They better. You're absolutely right. But coding doesn't change. That's the kicker. Like back in the day, they used to say we can't, cross-platform, because of coding issues. Bullshit. The code's the same. The OS startup is different. The accessibility to the OS, because consoles have a different OS. But once you get that coded in the launch, the code stays the same. Everything stays the same. And then just making sure it has controller capabilities, that your controllers work. I've been working for 5 years to get a company up. It's hard. No, Don. It's not that. There was a company who was going to give me millions. Don Strider. No, I'm known in the industry so much. Like one company, I'm not going to mention who, was like, we'll give you 10 million. But here's the kicker. They were going to give me $10 million to start the company. And I would have had a parent company. They was going to do it. But there was a big contingency. No. I'm not known in the industry. Yeah, I'll toot my horn. I will toot my horn. I had everything lined up between multiple companies, universities, everything. Yeah. No, I do toot my horn. I do. And they were going to do it. But the price that they wanted me to do, I wasn't in it for the money. It wasn't. I was not in it for the money. I was in it to do something bigger than that. I mean, it would have made money, but I baited Warhammer and knew it would bomb. It was like, wow, like, yeah. The RVR was just too much. It was just too littered in the game. I was like, every time I would walk around with something about the RVR, I'm like, oh my God. You know, combat wasn't bad. The combat wasn't bad. The siege equipment, though, I didn't like really at the time. The way they, it worked, but whatever. But yeah, no. I was given the opportunity to do it. I was given the opportunity, hey, we'll give you the money, Mystic. We'll give it to you. Because I couldn't get local investors to jump on board. That was the problem. Local investors, one dude asked me, what do I need a server for? I knew I was fucked. I was like, holy fuck. And then here comes this company who knew I was looking into developing the product. I already had the product's name. I owned everything on that aspect. And they were like, hey, guess what? Mystic, we got it. Come with us. Come with us, Mystic. We'll give you the money. We know you know how to do this. We know. You've worked with a ton of our products. We'll give it to you. Okay. What's the catch? The catch is you got to move. You got to relocate. We're not doing it there. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah. No, man. That's my prospectus isn't even built around that. Well, don't worry about it. No, I'm worrying about it. You want me to uproot? I'm trying to create jobs. That's what I'm trying to do. I got everything set up at the university, these companies. I'm trying to create jobs. That's what I'm trying to do. That was my whole intention. Not the wealth or prestige behind it. It was trying to create, bring the industry to where I'm from, and let it grow from there. But as they pointed out, they're like, you couldn't even get these local investors to understand the technical aspects behind the industry. And that was true. It was true. It was unfortunately true. But I walked away. I got a Skype meeting with a Sony rep, and all they wanted was my ideas for a cheap. But I know I can get more. Just no luck so far. Yeah, don't fuck with Sony. Fucking Sony will take your idea, twist it, and run with it. That was the whole thing. Like, negotiations, one thing. Like, here's the whole thing behind me. It was not just my idea that is the most important aspect to the company. It's what I offer, right? And if you're going to do a business, this is my only advice. Make sure you draw up your prospectus. If you can draw up your prospectus in detail, and especially with the graph, and get as much data as possible, you'll have better time submitting to companies. But everything's going to correlate with that prospectus down to the cent. Down to the nitty-gritty cent. And here's the deal. You don't want another person doing a prospectus for you, because you need to understand the prospectus in detail. You have to understand the cost, the production, time frame, market, research, all of this. If you can do that, you'll have a better time developing your company. But majority of people can't do a prospectus very well, but you can learn. That's what I always tell people. Just get motivated, right? Buckle down. Get your, your Excel. Make sure you got Excel plugged in. And once you get your Excel plugged in, go to work. It'll take a little time. You'll have to do a lot of research. You'll have to get a lot of cost effects into play. But once you get that prospectus nailed, you can take a look at it. And when you take a look at it and you have solid data that supports the evidence, you're going to be good. You'll be good. But you have to have those numbers. You have to have everything done to the nitty gritty. And you need to know it. That's why you don't want another person doing it. Because when these investors come and take a look at the prospectus, they're going to ask all of these questions. And you cannot flip through that prospectus one time. you need to know it. You have to be confident in your knowledge. You set, an atmosphere when you're in a board meeting, when you're looking down the table with a bunch of people in suits and dresses. You have to know, you have to be on their level. They don't want to see flaws. They don't want second guessing. They want straight answers, right? Have you ever watched Shark Tank? It's kind of funny. I'm like, Shark Tank's kind of like a mini version of that. It is. It's kind of cool because they bring ideas, but then all of a sudden they're asking all these questions, and the people are kind of like, well, how much do you have to put up? How much is this? Where are we getting that? How much are we? Here's what I'm willing to do, but this is what it, and that's what it is. That's kind of what it is, except a milder version. And it's like, yeah. You got to stick around, though, somewhere. You have to stick around. You're never going to own a company if you have to rely on investors. That's not what you're trying to do. At the end of the day, it's their money. It's not yours. You're working for them, but you need to understand what you're trying, where you're trying to place yourself. What are you trying to place yourself? Are you trying to sell an idea and pitch it and get rid of it? Or are you trying to run it? Are you trying to lead something? If you're trying to lead something, then it takes a lot into it, man. You have to position yourself to get that position. You have to, strategically put yourself in a position for the opportunity, and be aware at the end of the day you're disposable. Even if you retain a percentage of ownership, you're not going to own majority unless you have, I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars and you own majority of the stock, which you didn't even need an investor to begin with. So that's practicality, man. Cause and effect. But like my brother, he makes 6 figures in marketing. And he talks to millionaires daily. And the first thing he does is like, they never would know that he works for them. Like you would never know. You would never know. Because he sets the tone. It's just the way it is, man. Is it narcissism? Yeah, it's partially narcissism. But it's also, confidence and understanding what your value is and what you're offering these people versus other people. You got to believe that you're not disposable, that you're not so easily replaced. And if you can do that and make them believe you are an asset and that you're an essential element to the development of something, you'll go a long way. You will. But most people, it was funny when I did music for the first time. I was okay. I wasn't really, I just did it for whatever. And I ended up on the radio and it was like, okay, cool. And I was looking at getting signed, cool. But then I noticed it wasn't for me. Well, I knew it wasn't for me because just my personality. I'm like, I'm not in it for fame. I don't want fame. It's not what I'm in it for. And some people, unless you enjoy that type of attention, then you're never going to succeed at it. And I would tell my one friend, I'm like, we all have to realize, even if we're good at something, we have to say, do we want to get better at just being good? Do we want to be the best aspect and put forward what we're trying to accomplish? Or are we going to pursue it in a way as to try to get somebody else to realize what we want to do or what we want to accomplish and try to, get somebody on board with that? It's like I honestly told one person, you're a good rapper, but you're better when you're with other rappers. Like one of my friends was a rapper. I was like, you're better when you're with other rappers. And he didn't realize it. And I was like, you're not a solo artist, is what I'm saying. Like, you're a better group artist because you feed off of other people. And that's when your performance, takes stage and steps, it gets its, its recognition. And that's what I'm trying to convey. Is like, do you need to put yourself around certain type of individuals to get the results, right? Or can you do it? Can you do it to the point where you just need the support? You just need the people. Can you hold the position? And you just need to structure the people correctly. And that's an individual question. It's not saying one way or the other. I don't know anybody. And that's why I tell people, I don't know what you're capable of. Only you can tell you that. And you need to push for it, man. You need to push for it. If you want to get the business, you can do it. Roz, what's up? I believe it, Don Strider. If you want to do it, you do it. But just buckle down, man. Get that prospectus underway. Get in front of your Excel. Grab up all the data you can. Get your timeline set. Make sure it's reasonable, your timeline. And you can do it. Yeah, I'm about to cut the stream. Right. I'm about to end it. But anyways, man, yeah, I got to get going, guys. But yeah, definitely, if you want to pursue any type of business, any advice I give to people, because I did loans too, I always tell people, I want your paperwork. I want it in front of me. I want to take a look at it. I want to see that you understand what it's going to take, what kind of commitment it's going to take on your part to reap the benefits. And I want to make sure I'm not throwing money away. Because I'm putting my neck out there by trying to get you the money. So, at the end of the day, just, if you can do that, you'll be solid. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Once again, Mystic Raven, Mystics MMOs, thank you guys for watching. And as always, have a nice day.